Okay, what is up, guys? Today was a beautiful day. Let me show you exactly what happened. So my bias going into today was bullish, most definitely, mostly because, well, we looked at Monday's price action. We had a fairly bullish day, and from there we want to see a price respecting our bullish PD arrays when trying to continue this move right here. So this is the order block outlined here on NAS. You can see this blue line. Price came and retraced during a London session. This is on the hourly, just by the way. London session tapped into that order block and continue higher. As you can see, same thing with SMT and US30. Instead, we are tapping into equilibrium of this range. Okay, so if you measure the bottom to the top from previous day low to previous day high, we tapped into equilibrium before price pushed up high. Because why? Price wants to reach into discount prices. Price wants to find a fairly good deal before pushing price higher, right? So there we have it, same deal. Here's equilibrium. Price comes in and, you know, reacts off of that. So of course, once I see that, I'm looking for some confirmation, some change in state of delivery, and we get that here with this let me see, yellow line here, change in state of delivery on the hourly. In other words, a order block formation here during London session, all the way heading to New York session, and that happens on all charts. Okay, we all get this change in state of delivery. We also get this nice fair value gap supporting price, looking for retracements in this area when New York session started, but we didn't get that here on NAS. Instead, we're looking for very shallow retracements. So if you go look into the 15-minute, let's highlight our session in the purple box right here. As you can see here, it says my bias was bullish. News was at 4 o'clock, so we waited actually for news, but you want to see what opening price does. We had this weird manipulation. I was like, okay, perhaps we go down and then do the retracement, but price just kept on pushing higher, taking data highs, I guess. But yeah, we still had the news at 4 o'clock, so that didn't matter. So I was expecting price to come in, do this as it did, but I didn't like how price was moving on NAS, so I had a look at US30. Let's put NAS on the screen over here. So if we have a look, here's NAS. And here's US30. You can see we had a beautiful trade right here. Price came down into this fair value gap. There was an hourly fair value gap on US30. You can see there after we made our change in state of delivery. Right there, price came and made it in this 1 hour fair value gap. I was waiting for price to come and tap down into the fair value gap. Somewhere between that and these breakers, order block, whatever you want to call it. We just want a high time frame liquidity reaction, right? So here we have this entry logic. This is where the magic happened. So as price was opening and reaching down and to retrace, price at the same time was having a shallow retracement on NASDAQ. As you can see, it didn't look very pretty. Over here, I'm going to highlight that zone so you can see relatively where I'm talking about. Here, we're both on the 5-minute. Here's that reaction. Over here, here's that reaction. You can see how unclean it looks. It's not untradeable. We could have also taken an entry here. We've got this fair value gap resting with this order block. We could have taken an entry as well. And as you can see, we have our target up here. This green line was technically our target if we had taken NASDAQ, and this target is relatively close to our 2 to 2.5 standard deviation if we're measuring from the this sweep here of liquidity where we took this leg of the change of state in delivery. We have this target resting up here, and this is an hourly fair value gap of some sort. Same thing with all these other targets up here. It's usually an hourly fair value gap or high, and you can see that matches up also nicely with our 2 to 2.5 standard deviation here on US30. So things just looked a lot more cleaner here at US30. We had a nice clear first target, you could say, at the high that was created when market open. That's where I relatively took my, I'm saying relatively a lot, but I'm taking partials relatively close to where that high is. I wasn't very fast with that reaction, but I'm glad how we managed this was not as bad as I thought it would be. We did really good at where's my English today? We did really well at managing this trade because we only took this one partial and we waited until our TP got hit. We waited, we held, kept consistent, kept our rules going, trailing our stop loss under all the relevant lows and order blocks, so that we get stopped out at a reasonable area and not miss out on the entire move. So as price was reaching the target on Nasdaq and S&P, US30 was pushing up higher, and so I thought, okay, this might have been definitely the target for US30, and I think this went really well for my first time trading on US30. I don't normally trade US30, you guys know I usually trade on NAS, but feeling myself around and trying to be more comfortable, be more confident in my trading skill. And yeah, I think you guys have noticed, someone's mentioned AJ, I know you've noticed I've cleaned up my entries a little bit, and yeah, you could say I've got my head in a much better space. I know sometimes it sounds like I'm moaning and frustrating when I'm losing, and yeah, I guess that's normal, but we got to keep our head together, keep it straight, and focus on what we know. And so I think that's what we've been doing, and things have been getting better, and the proof is in the pudding. Let's have a look at the results today. You can see we made $60, $60.93. One trade today. We took our partials. I wanted to just take half, but I wanted to cover the original risk I took on the trade. So when I took the trade, it was around about this amount. Where my stop loss was, that was how much I was risking. So I was like, okay, I'll take off what I risked and let the rest run. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit more than half, that's okay, it's perfectly fine. More profit in my pocket. And then the important thing is not being so fast on the trigger to just take more partials, because I think that's a little bit of a mistake I made. I think in my previous, either this one or this one, where I took a lot of partials in sequence, and it didn't make sense at the time, so I was just cutting my profits up in pieces. So I think being able to endure and hold towards your target, I think that's also a good improvement in terms of managing and keeping discipline within your trade. So sorry if I'm rushing a little bit. I am kind of trying to keep these recaps a little bit shorter, because I know I do ramble on a little bit, but yeah, as you can see, this is the result, and I'm super happy, super keen on tomorrow's price action. I know it's NFP week, so it's gonna be tough, so today might be the only cleanest day, we don't know. But yeah, as you can see, that was the logic. An hourly fair value gap. We had an SMT at the lows. You can see with Nasdaq, the lows. Well, there was an SMT. Yeah, you guys, you know where the SMT is. I think it's not so dramatic. It's like this, somewhere like this. But SMT with our high time frame liquidity sweep, which is this hourly fair value gap, you can see that we respect it. If we go down into the 1 minute can see there's our inverse fair value gap. Price closes over, and so there we take our entry, and our first target or partial is at this high, and of course we trail our stop loss towards our TP at this hourly fair value gap. So yeah, super cool win today. I'm super proud. Hope you guys are happy with this as well, because I am definitely. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow, and happy trading.